Imagine this. You have the power to completely transform your relationships, not by chasing after someone, but by knowing exactly when to walk away and prioritize yourself. Think back to the times you felt like you're not enough, like, no matter how hard you chase, you're running on empty. What if I told you that the secret to flipping this narrative isn't about doing more, but about being more? Something profound happens when you start valuing yourself above everything else. It's not magic, but it might feel like it. Stick with me, because we're about to break down the surprising truths and unshakable principles that will change not just your relationships, but your life. The power of walking away, walking away. It's a phrase that feels loaded with defeat, but in reality, it's a declaration of your strength. When you have the courage to step away from situations that no longer serve you, you're making a loud and clear statement, not just to them, but to yourself. This isn't about being cold or detached for the sake of it. It's about standing up for your own dignity and self-worth. Walking away is how you communicate that you are not chasing after crumbs when you should be feasting on life itself. The power lies in the boundaries you set. When you walk away, you aren't running from something. You are stepping toward a version of yourself that demands respect. It's a mental shift where you no longer play small to keep someone else happy. Walking away is the ultimate flex of valuing your peace over someone else's approval. Consider this equation. If seeking their validation steals your self-respect, the cost is too high. Conversely, walking away shows confidence that screams, "I know my worth, and I'm not here to settle." That power reverberates, it's magnetic, and whether or not they admit it, they'll feel the weight of your absence. The pain of chasing. Someone who doesn't reciprocate your energy is exhausting. It feels like running a marathon you didn't sign up for. Every ignored message, every half-hearted response, and every broken promise chips away at your self-esteem until you're left questioning your own value. And here's the kicker. The harder you chase, the further they seem to run. Emotionally, chasing sets up a one-sided dynamic where you're pouring everything into a cup that never fills. You keep investing in the hope that one day they'll notice your worth. The truth? That day rarely comes. The more you chase, the more you send a subconscious signal that they are above you. That's a dynamic destined for imbalance and disappointment, leaving you drained emotionally, mentally, and even physically. You need to understand this simple truth. If someone can't see your value when you're standing still, they won't appreciate it while you're breaking your back to prove it. Chasing destroys the equilibrium that healthy relationships require. You deserve better than that. Valuing yourself above all else. The moment you place value on yourself above someone else's opinions or attention, everything changes. The energy in the room shifts. You stop pleading for validation because you no longer need external confirmation of your worth. This is where the tables start to turn. The focus is no longer on what they think of you, but what you think of you. When you start prioritizing yourself, people can sense it. There's something irresistible about someone who carries themselves as if they are the prize, not the audition. And here's the paradox you must master to take control of your relationships. When you pull back, people lean in. When you stop chasing their attention, they begin to crave yours. Self-respect is the foundation for all enduring relationships. When you invest in yourself, you create a life worth sharing. You attract partners who align with your values rather than people looking for someone to fill a void. By valuing yourself, you stop chasing others and start commanding the respect you deserve. The lie of effort equals value. Here's one of the biggest lies society has handed out, especially to men. If you work harder, they'll appreciate you more. While this might work in a career setting, it's a losing strategy in relationships. Relationships thrive on mutual respect and connection, not on you overexerting yourself while someone else does the bare minimum. If effort alone created value, every nice guy who overfunctions in a relationship would be cherished. But the harsh reality is this isn't how attraction works. When you push too hard or try too much, that desperation becomes evident, and it has the exact opposite effect of what you're hoping for. It's not attractive. It's exhausting for both you and the other person. True value comes from reciprocity. A relationship should not feel like a never-ending uphill climb. When you focus too much on proving your worth through effort, you risk losing sight of the fact that your presence is enough. Never forget this. Truth. It's not how much you do for someone that determines your value to them. It's how much you believe in your own worth. Why chasing kills? Respect. The moment you chase someone, you shift the balance of power. Chasing is an act of pursuit, and pursuit implies that the other person is running. Do you see the dynamic? When you chase, you willingly hand over control of your emotional well-being to someone else. And here's the harsh reality. People don't respect what's overly available. Respect stems from rarity and self-assurance. When you chase, you signal desperation, and desperation erodes respect faster than anything else. It's not because people are cruel, it's simply human nature. We value what feels confident and unshakable, not what begs for recognition. By constantly trying to win someone over, you send a message that you do not see your own worth unless they validate it. The result? They respect you even less. The key to reversing this is to reclaim your power by stepping back. A confident man secures respect, not by chasing, but by standing firm in his value. The power of emotional detachment. Detachment might sound like indifference, but it's not. Emotional detachment is about maintaining your peace and self-respect, no matter what is happening outside of you. It's the art of remaining anchored, even in the midst of chaos. When you master detachment, you take control of your reactions. No longer swayed by the highs and lows of someone else's behavior, you focus inward. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting their actions dictate your self-worth. By being emotionally grounded, you become harder to manipulate or diminish. Detachment empowers you to make decisions that serve your higher self. It clears the fog of emotion that clouds judgment and allows you to see situations for what they truly are. And here's the real kicker. When you stop reacting to every little thing, people start chasing your emotional stability. Building inner confidence. True confidence doesn't come from external approval. It comes from within. Sure, you can dress well, hit the gym, or succeed at work. But without inner confidence, these are just temporary fixes. Real confidence comes from doing the work on yourself day in and day out. Taking care of your health, setting personal goals, and overcoming challenges builds a deep sense of who you are. When you consistently show up for yourself, you create an unshakable belief in your own value. And that belief, it's magnetic. You don't need to tell people how great you are when it radiates from every part of who you are. Start small. Every little promise you keep to yourself builds trust in your capabilities. Over time, this trust becomes resilience, and resilience becomes confidence. Once you own this, you won't need to chase anyone. The right people will be drawn to you. Signals to know. It's time to walk away. Recognizing the right moment to walk away is crucial to protecting your peace and self-worth. One unmistakable sign is inconsistency. When someone's words don't align with their actions, it's a red flag that they lack the respect or commitment necessary to build something meaningful. Sure, everyone has off days, but if their behavior consistently leaves you feeling undervalued or second-guessing yourself, it's time to reconsider. Your time and energy are too valuable to waste on someone who doesn't appreciate them. Another clear signal is a lack of effort. Relationships should feel balanced, where both sides take equal responsibility for their growth. If you're constantly the one reaching out, making plans, or compromising while they contribute little to nothing, it creates an exhausting imbalance. Over time, this dynamic chips away at your confidence. By identifying this trend, you regain the ability to take a step back and prioritize your needs. Disrespect is the ultimate deal breaker. Whether blatant or subtle, acts of disrespect erode trust and connection. If someone repeatedly crosses boundaries, dismisses your feelings, or undermines your opinions, it's time to step away. Walking away isn't about punishing them. It's about honoring yourself enough to demand better. Knowing these signals isn't just about walking away, but doing so with your dignity intact. Walking away. As strength, walking away is often misunderstood as giving up, but it's far from it. It's an act of immense strength, proof that you value yourself above external validation. When you walk away, you take control of your narrative. You're not at their mercy anymore, waiting for scraps of affection or acknowledgement. Instead, you're making a loud, unshakable statement about what you deserve. That confidence shifts the energy in every space you enter. Walking away also sends a message that you put quality over quantity. Staying in a toxic or unfulfilling situation just to avoid being alone is a disservice to yourself. It's a bold move to say, "This isn't working, and I won't compromise who I am to make it work." Strength isn't just about enduring. Sometimes, it's about releasing what doesn't serve your growth. Finally, walking away creates space for better opportunities. People often cling to the wrong situations because they fear uncertainty, but that's where your power lies. By stepping away from less, you open yourself to more. Whether it's personal growth or healthier relationships, walking away positions you for the life you truly deserve. How to stay calm. Amid emotional chaos, life will inevitably throw you into emotional chaos, especially when it comes to relationships. The key to staying calm is learning how to control your reactions rather than being consumed by external events. When someone tries to provoke you, staying grounded allows you to take the high road. Calmness isn't weakness, it's the ultimate display of self-control. When you master calmness, you reclaim your mental and emotional power. Instead of reacting impulsively, you pause, assess the situation, and choose how to respond. This pause is where your strength lives. It allows you to remain composed and centered, even when everything around you feels turbulent. The power of staying calm isn't just about avoiding conflict, but about preserving your peace. Being calm also creates intrigue. Think about how much more impactful it is when someone manages to hold their ground without yelling or breaking down. That ability makes others respect you, even in heated moments. Staying calm protects your energy and draws the line between chaos and control. Mastering the art of silence. Silence is an underrated tool that carries immense power. Knowing when to remain silent can be more effective than any argument or explanation. Silence can make people pause, reevaluate, and pay closer attention to you. It's a way to maintain control of the situation without saying a word. Mastering. Silence involves intentionality. This isn't about being passive-aggressive or avoiding confrontation, but about choosing your battles and commanding respect. When you remain silent in moments where others expect you to react, it shifts the E dynamic. Silence becomes a boundary, a way of asserting that not everything is worthy of your energy or emotion. Silence also has an empowering ripple effect. People often rush to fill the void it creates, revealing what they truly think or feel. By mastering silence, you not only protect your peace, but also gain deeper insight into others' intentions. Used wisely, it becomes an irreplaceable aspect of your emotional toolkit. Letting go without regret. The act of letting go doesn't have to be synonymous with failure or loss. It's a step toward freedom and self-love. Accepting that not everyone or everything is meant to stay in your life lets you move forward without regret weighing you down. This clarity transforms letting go from something painful into something empowering. When you release something that no longer serves you, focus on the gains rather than the perceived losses. Perhaps you've gained wisdom, clarity, or even the space to rediscover yourself. Regret only surfaces when you dwell on what could have been instead of appreciating what is. Shifting your mindset ensures a transition from feeling stuck to feeling liberated. Moving on with no regrets protects your energy, and sets you up for something better. Life is fluid, and clinging to what's gone only holds you back. By letting go with grace, you show others and yourself that you value your peace more than trying to control the uncontrollable. The comeback. Why they'll want more. There's a magnetic power in your absence. When you take a step back to focus on yourself, you remind others of what they once had. Absence has a way of creating clarity for those who took you for granted. The comeback isn't about proving a point. It's about investing in your own growth. Elevating yourself forces others to reevaluate their perspective of you. It becomes evident that you've leveled up, not to win them back, but to win at life. This shift in focus is precisely what makes you more attractive. Your absence shows that you won't settle or wait around, and this newfound confidence is irresistible. The beauty of the comeback lies in its authenticity. It's not about playing games, but about finally owning your worth. By letting go, focusing inward, and thriving, you create a compelling combination that leaves others craving your presence. The Stoic's mindset in relationships. Stoic mindset is a game changer in relationships. It's rooted in the philosophy of focusing on what you can control and remaining unaffected by external chaos. This mindset is liberating because it centers your peace and self-respect above all else. No matter what challenges or emotions come your way, this approach keeps you steady and unshakable. When applying Stoicism in relationships, you stop reacting to every minor issue or emotional spike. Instead, you respond with intentionality, guided by your values. This balance allows you to stay grounded while navigating complex dynamics. It ensures you're never derailed by someone else's volatility. The Stoic mindset makes you magnetic. People are drawn to grounded confidence and calm assurance. By detaching from outcomes and focusing on what adds value to your life, you create stronger, more meaningful connections. The illusion of control, believing you can control someone else's feelings or actions, is one of the biggest traps in relationships. It's natural to want to steer the outcome, especially when emotions run deep, but this illusion of control only leads to frustration. The more you try to force a certain response or behavior, the more resistance you create. People are unpredictable, and their actions are ultimately beyond your control. What you can influence is your reaction. The key to breaking free from this illusion is recognizing that your happiness and worth aren't tied to someone else's behavior. Clinging to control places unnecessary emotional labor on your shoulders, leaving you drained and dissatisfied. The moment you accept that you can only control your choices, you regain your freedom. This mindset is liberating. It allows you to release the constant worry of how others perceive you and focus on how you perceive yourself. Instead of trying to manage other people's actions, redirect your energy inward. Pour that effort into what builds you up rather than obsessing over someone else's approval. This shift not only eases the pressure, but also makes you more composed and self-assured, traits that naturally draw respect and admiration. Detachment. As self-respect, detachment often gets a bad rap, misunderstood as cold indifference. But in reality, detachment is an act of self-respect. It's about preserving your energy and prioritizing your well-being over anyone or anything that compromises it. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you draw the line where your peace begins. When you detach, you free yourself from the constant need for validation. You're no longer emotionally tethered to the opinions, reactions, or behaviors of others. Imagine the strength that comes from knowing your happiness is self-sustained, unaffected by external turbulence. This detachment empowers you to walk away when respect wanes, knowing you deserve more. Detachment helps you stand tall in your boundaries. It tells the world, "This is who I am, and this is what I will and won't accept." It sets a standard for how others treat you, and those who can't meet it will naturally fade away. This filtering process leaves you surrounded by relationships that are truly enriching. Reclaiming your happiness is an internal state, not something dependent on others giving you their time, love, or attention. The most important lesson in life is recognizing that your happiness is yours to control. This realization shifts the narrative from, "I need them to make me happy," to "I owe it to myself to be happy." Taking ownership of your happiness begins with aligning your actions with your values. What excites you? What challenges you? When you chase personal growth and fulfillment, you create a life that's rich and satisfying, with or without a partner. This approach doesn't just make you happier, it also makes you more attractive to others. Happiness isn't about perfection or always being in a state of joy. It's about resilience, finding the lessons in setbacks, and continuing to move forward. Reclaiming your happiness is an act of empowerment that sets the standard for every relationship you engage in going forward. The magnetic power of strength isn't just about physical prowess. It's the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing your worth. Strength radiates in the way you carry yourself, in the way you own your decisions, and in the boundaries you uphold. This kind of strength, it's magnetic. People are drawn to those who are unapologetically themselves. A man who knows his value doesn't have to prove it to anyone. His quiet confidence speaks louder than words. This strength is rooted in self-belief, not in external validation. When you embody this, others take notice, not because you're chasing their attention, but because you command it simply by existing in your truth. True strength is also about vulnerability. Owning your emotions and learning from setbacks are some of the strongest moves you can make. When you turn inward to build this foundation, it extends outward, creating a ripple effect that enhances every interaction you have. Strength isn't about intimidating others, it's about inspiring them. Turning pain into power pain is an inevitable part of life, but how you respond to it defines your character. While heartbreak and setbacks may feel crushing in the moment, they hold the potential to reshape you in the best possible way. Pain, when faced and processed, is the ultimate teacher. Turning pain into power means using your experiences as fuel for growth. Instead of letting rejection or failure diminish you, channel that energy toward becoming a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. Every setback holds a lesson, and every lesson strengthens your foundation. The key is perspective. When you frame pain as an opportunity to grow, you shift from a place of victimhood to one of empowerment. This doesn't mean the pain disappears, but it becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Strength born from pain is unshakable. It carries you through future challenges with a sense of perspective that makes you unstoppable. The void has potential when you walk away or detach. From something unhealthy, it can feel like a void has been left behind. This emptiness can be daunting, but it's also brimming with potential. The void isn't a loss, it's a blank slate, a space to build something new and meaningful. Seeing the void as potential shifts your perspective. Instead of fearing the unknown, you start to ask, what can I create here? This is where you rediscover yourself, untethered from the expectations or dynamics that held you back. Filling the void with actions, habits, and relationships that align with your highest self is where the magic happens. By leaning into the void, you give yourself the freedom to grow. It's not emptiness, it's the room needed to rebuild. Facing this space with courage rather than fear transforms it into a powerful catalyst for change. The void is your opportunity to redefine your life on your terms. Walking away as a declaration. Walking away isn't just an action, it's a statement. It declares that you value yourself enough to leave situations that don't serve you. It communicates self-respect, strength, and the refusal to settle for anything less than what you deserve. This declaration goes beyond words. Walking away with grace leaves a lasting impact, whether on a romantic partner, toxic friend, or unfulfilling job. It's a powerful way to reclaim your energy, redirect it inward, and set the stage for something better. Rather than staying in situations out of fear or convenience, you're asserting your worth unapologetically. When you walk away with clarity and purpose, those around you take notice. It's a reminder that your peace isn't negotiable. By valuing yourself in this way, you invite more respect, both from others and, more importantly, from yourself. Owning your worth. Owning your worth isn't just about knowing you're valuable. It's about living a life that reflects it. This means setting standards and not wavering from them. It's about saying no to less so you can say yes to more. Owning your worth transforms how you see yourself and how others see you. When you own your worth, you stop seeking validation externally. You become your biggest advocate, celebrating your wins, learning from your losses, and never letting anyone diminish your light. This self-assuredness cannot be faked. It's felt in the way you walk, talk, and engage with the world. Living this way creates a ripple effect. Those who meet you are either inspired to rise to your standards or fall away. Either outcome is a victory because you're unapologetically living as the best version of yourself. Reclaiming and owning your worth isn't just a step. It's the ultimate destination for a fulfilling, empowered life.